Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Ben the Human Plays Plan B Terraform. The goal today is to reach 1,000 people in our biggest city. It's kind of a race between Nagoya and Guangzhou, I should say. I learned how to pronounce that and then immediately forgot. Based on population right now, Guangzhou is at 649, but it's hit the limit as far as reinforced concrete goes, which is why we started working on this rail network here to try and bring more reinforced concrete to Guangzhou. So, based on that, we want to get this, like, extra series of things set up. So we're going to have concrete production here. Let's do it like that. And then we would like a factory to make concrete. Then we're going to have a separate rail line that delivers to here, to our funny little circle, like so. And then we'll do a little circle here, like that. And now we want to deliver concrete. That's not a train, that's a truck. We want to deliver concrete between these two, like that. Perfect. Oh, wait, almost perfect. We need an output here for, not carbon, concrete. There we go. Now this guy will produce concrete. We could even boost the sulfur production here and throw down another factory to make concrete production go crazy if we so chose. But for now, we'll let it be. And then we're gonna set up iron production, which we already started. We're gonna set up iron transportation here, very similarly. Little longer rail line, but we'll make it work. Sure. I guess you could probably well, can you delete this guy? You can. There. Now, train will deliver steel bar. Yes. There we go. Except I've got it backwards. Whoop. Alright, so we'll pick up these steel bars, bring them over here, drop them off here, and this guy is going to continue to pick up concrete and bring them over here and drop them off here. Now, third train picking up the steel bar, the reinforced concrete, and zipping it on over to Guangzhou. And we even have extra trains, so we could actually build up a second train if we wanted to. But this one's gonna take a while to fill fully anyway. The only reason you would ever want to have a full train or a second train is if you need to offload faster. Or if you don't have enough speed to offload a full train. Or you need a more steady supply. So we might need a second train because this is a very long train track. But I think this is a good start to getting Guangzhou rolling here. And that's kind of interesting is this one doesn't have enough speed to actually offload the full train. It's close, but once that train gets even more full with even more steel, might not be able to fill the whole thing. So you might actually need double depots at this steel mill. It's kind of an interesting idea, is you could go 2 and then maybe 2 here, set both of these to concrete, set both of these to steel bars, and then have a crazy amount of resources just sitting around waiting to be turned into concrete. So Guangzhou is set up for now. Now we need to set up this other steel manufacturer, or a reinforced concrete manufacturer. The thing that's kind of interesting about this is this factory is not really keeping up with our reinforced concrete demand. It's just sitting like fully loaded. So maybe what we want to do, can I add a second stop. Like, what if I move you to here? That's not what I wanted to do. Can I undo? I want them to both share this steel production here. And then, but deliver it to a different depot. So I want to almost like extend this rail line out. Delete the middle part here. There we go. And then have this guy, the destination is what I should have changed. Deliver up here. And that way you're dropping off iron for this guy too. And then we could really go crazy with the iron production down here. Throw down another factory. Where would we, maybe like here? And you would place this guy there? I don't know why this one is so weird. Like, why is this one, rather than being a full circle, is actually like a weird loop-the-loop? Oh, it must be because they're coming in at a strange angle. Huh. How did I do that? I don't even know. But I would like more iron ore production. And then just keep churning out iron ore like crazy. That seems to be doing okay. Oh, that's interesting. This factory this factory is actually within range to be picked up by that extra drone. Cuz I always forget about the double range that those drones have. Which is kind of interesting cuz you could set up things a little differently around here. Is you could have two factories feeding into, let's say if we replace this guy. Now all of a sudden we could ditch like it's not really set up for it, but we could put a different factory within 2 squares of this depot. I'd have to rethink how I'm delivering resources, but I think this might work. Yeah, so it's coming in here. Now he's gonna snatch the steel. Go faster. Almost. There we go. We got all the steel. Barely, but we did. Okay. So we'll see who continues to grow, Nagoya or Guangzhou. And we'll see how this balance down here. Alright, steel's doing fine. It's not keeping up with concrete, which is kind of interesting because concrete is much closer. Maybe we need a faster drone delivery? So we got 2 concrete ready to go. That's kind of weird that it's that slow. Do we need, I guess we could get even more excavators out here. And the nice thing about this guy is he can grab resources because it's two drones that can reach really, really far. Now all of a sudden you don't need excavators sitting next to your resource depot. They can be way the heck out there. I didn't even think about that before. That's really nice. you can go crazy with the excavators. Look at this. Don't zoom in too far. They've gone mad with, I've gone mad with power. I love it. All right, now we're catching up with the production. We're building a backlog here, which is good. We should look at our iron down here too. Yeah, this guy, same thing. We can build excavators way the heck out here and just go crazy with them. And this thing is gonna load up, and these 2 guys are gonna be like absolutely stuffed to the gills with iron ore now. I love that, actually. That's really cool. Oops, I lost track of my my steel production, which means like this guy is keeping up just fine, but in the future we might want to consider, and maybe we do that for here because this one's not keeping up, just like any of our straight up resource production that's not keeping up with the rest of the production line, just start working from the bottom of the production line forward. And then you can start balancing it out a little bit. This one's still not keeping up somehow, which is wild. I almost wonder, like, you might need 2. Just because it seems like the iron is chewing through the iron, or the factories are chewing through the iron ore faster. It's not so bad though, because it's kind of building up a backlog that is keeping up with the factory production at the very least. So maybe one of these guys keeps up with 2 factories. So I guess maybe the output here is get rid of this guy, put another factory for concrete. And I think this is where you might want to consider having another train going. We're still not keeping up with reinforced concrete demand, which is kind of surprising. They didn't offload the full train, so that is a problem. So let's get a double one of you so we can definitely get all the reinforced concrete out of there. Now, you are kind of lagging behind as well. And it's definitely the concrete production that's the slow end here as well. So maybe we do the same thing here. We're just balancing, or trying to balance out our resource production here. There. The other problem with this field here is the sulfur production is gonna be cannibalized relatively soon, at least compared to other components that are available to us. This one will want to change to a double so it can keep up to the train. It's interesting that it always has to go to the far box. Drone's like chasing the train down. It's like, wait a minute, take the concrete. Now the question is, does this drone fully offload in the time that this train is here? I think it's gonna be able to keep up. Just barely. I wonder if you get access to like a tri-drone MK3 just to be able to keep up with the trains, because a fully loaded train seems like it's very difficult for two drones to keep up. It did almost fully load that train though, and maybe that's where we want to have 2 trains running so you don't have a train that's so fully loaded. Interesting to think about. What's Nagoya up to? 830. Holy cow! It's catching up to Guangzhou. Guangzhou's at what, 895. Still not enough reinforced concrete to keep up, but we're getting there. We're close. This one is kind of interesting. I think we want to boost concrete production here, so I think we should switch you over from trucks. I have way too many trucks that have been built here, I think. I've hit the limit though, so that's fine. We want to switch you over to factory. There we go. Do we have limits on our factory? Our supply center should be 3 for sure. The roads is infinite. Rail. Look at how many rail we have. We might want to put a limit on rail. Like maybe let's set it at 800. I can't imagine going beyond that. For now, anyway. Maybe in the future that might change, but assembly plant 5 is fine. Depot 10 is fine. Factory 15, sure, and 15 for the extractor. I'm happy with that. For limits, anyway. This iron field is gonna last us for maybe like the rest of the playthrough. I have no idea, but seems to be doing just fine. This one I'm a little concerned about. We might want to consider looking at like a relatively close by sulfur field and thinking about trucking concrete to this place. Especially because we're like behind on trucking as it is. So what would that take? Like if we want to set this up, like we could set this up now because concrete is lagging behind. So say throw down this guy. This is where the concrete ends up. We throw down a factory to make the concrete. We throw down a double sulfur guy to soak up all of the sulfur. Hey, we've done it. New objective is increase the temperature by 10 degrees. We're already halfway there, which is cool. We have metal waste as a resource, can be recycled to reclaim resources. That's cool. Waste disposal is made from concrete at the assembly plant. And then a recycling center is also made of concrete and high-tech parts. Recycle a city's waste, stop as soon as one output is full. All right, so Guangzhou has reached 100 or 1,000 population. The city waste disposal is insufficient here. So let's think about this. So you're for, we had originally set you up for aluminum to make high-tech parts here. We could put an assembler here, and if we wanted to make recycling center, we need to truck in some concrete from somewhere. Possibly over here. We could also just do this in Nagoya because Nagoya is actually set up to handle this. So let's see, Nagoya, how's your population doing? 886. Not quite up to the same level as Guangzhou, but getting there. I think what's lagging behind is the steel production in Nagoya. But could we do can you do recycling center in a, or I guess we could at least build recycling center here. So let's switch you from train to what was the thing? Recycling center. This one. All right, so they're sucking in the high tech. We need to change you. Switch out from mechanical parts and switch you to concrete. And there's a problem that's actually happening here is the concrete field over here is mostly gone. So maybe what we want to do is pivot to a new field. Kind of like we did down south. Sure. Set up a sulfur guy, factory, concrete only, and then an output of normal concrete, and then a road. It's not a big road, so don't have to worry about that. And then we can get rid of you, like entirely. Just take all these trucks out of here, because we're not delivering to this one anymore. It's already got a maxed out amount of mechanical parts. However, if we want to clear out this guy, just put a double depot under there for a little bit, and they'll slowly deliver mechanical parts to this place as it needs them. Now, and the other thing that I gotta remember is now that this thing does double the distance, we don't actually need to be right next to a thing to deliver stuff anymore either. It's so loud next to the factories. But let's go ahead and truck in concrete. Flip these around. And then we're gonna add just like as many trucks as we can. Or, you know, as makes sense anyway. Until, like, they're keeping up with the concrete production. All right, cool. So we should be able to get recycling centers rolling. And then on top of that, you have the possibility of making waste disposal. But honestly, we should go down to where we're doing roads Or, this guy. Let's call this just concrete. Oh, and they've actually chunked through all of the all of the sulfur around them. So let's drop you, and then implement what we were talking about. Oh, not concrete. No, 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 no. Don't do it. Go, put it down. We're gonna do it like this. So these guys will grab sulfur and then deliver them to the concrete plant, even though they're not next to it, which is really nice. Let's call you Sulfur Land. Is that how you spell sulfur? Yeah, sulfur is a weird one. I always think there's an E in there, and there is not an E in there. Hey, it's working as intended. Perfect. So let's switch you from concrete, or no, not switch you. We would like to add a factory here. A factory that used to make roads, or not a factory, an assembler. An assembler that used to make roads will be making waste disposal. And they'll make 12. We should definitely put a limit on you. Not you. Waste disposal. Let's put this at 5. This could get out of hand like crazy. So we definitely don't want to go too wild with anything like that. Same thing with the recycling center. So let's see here. Recycling center. How do you work? Recycle a city's waste. Stop as soon as one output is full. Okay, what kind of output do you do? Maybe we'll put it along the, like, maybe over here so it's relatively close to the rail and the road. Like this. Manufactured products, steel bar and aluminum bar. It costs 3 metal waste to do that. Okay. So if we wanted aluminum bar, I should move you then. And then maybe they just output to this guy, because then we can make it's like not a vicious cycle, but it's a cycle where I can output aluminum bar. Do I need a thing to hold on to metal waste? Where does metal waste come from? Oh, you know what? I bet metal waste comes from this guy. So let's just do it like, you probably got to be in contact with the city, I would imagine. Serve City Guangzhou. I'll remember one of these days. So then we have an output of aluminum bar, and then an output of steel. Where would we want to put steel in Guangzhou? I guess you would probably want to use it with reinforced concrete. But right now we're making our reinforced concrete elsewhere and trucking it someplace else. So I guess we're just not really utilizing it. But we could at least capture both. How's this? We're not keeping up with oxygen demand anymore either, which is wild. So we should probably make some more supply centers too. Here, let's let this one finish with waste disposal, and then we'll swap back to supply center. So we can make another oxygen guy. Another oxygen district? I don't know what I want to call it. Guangzhou's looking kind of cool though. It's a pretty big city now. What's your population up to? 999. Does that mean Nagoya passed it? Or is it because they lost population because they didn't have any waste disposal? I think it's the former. Yeah, still not keeping up with the reinforced concrete, but maybe soon. How's this doing? Yeah, it's the reinforced concrete and oxygen are not meeting the growth goals. And is it because looks like you guys are full on almost full on full, especially because they're not offloading the train fast enough. So we definitely want to do steel bar, and you're gonna be concrete. So now we got crazy amounts of drones feeding 2 factories that hopefully will fill with enough to fill the train. It's like, now it's all a balancing act of trying to get as many resources to Guangzhou and Nagoya as possible. I've just like completely given up on trying to maintain anything going on with Dhaka. Let's check on the greenhouse gas production. How's that going? Sulfur is fine. We need more production from the fluorite field, which means we need to do what we did for everything else. Give them a double drone, and then go crazy with the extractors here. Like that. More fluorite. These guys are doing just fine. So we'll just leave them be, even though it would be better to have just a single depot with double drones. But until they are not able to keep up, I will leave them alone. Let's go ahead and add a few trucks to these guys since we have some spare trucks. Go ahead and do like 10 trucks here. And because we have double view, let's go 10 trucks there. And let's knock 2 down there. Looks like we could do one more here and one more there. All right, I don't think, I was gonna say, yeah, I don't have access to the other greenhouse gas yet. I think it was like nitrogen fluoride or something like that. Is this one's SF6? Now we got trucks zooming. And I think this would be served well to have a double drone delivery. Part of that is like they're just waiting on more fluorite to get here. But this guy can serve, you know, a lot of them. Actually, and this would allow us to change our configuration quite a bit, actually, if I think about this. Because we could move this guy here. Delete this dude, that guy as well. I didn't even think about this at the time, but it actually makes a lot more sense to be utilizing the double drones. Much more so than I have been. At least in high production areas. I suppose I should leave that one until I clear out the backlog of sulfur. But now I can go crazy with these because they're serviced by both of these guys. Or at least this one is servicing quite a few. I guess I can keep this guy too. Although I goofed and I took it off of the the main road. You almost want to move this guy into the middle. Actually, yeah, I think that makes more sense. Hold on. We're doing kind of a big swap over here. Let that guy fill out. Add in a little road nub. And then, I guess you don't need to move it in even any closer because the drones can move further. But, why don't we just move it in for now? We can always take those 2 nubs away eventually. I think once these drones catch up, it'll make more sense to possibly get rid of these 2 road nubs and then just have the trucks like drive along the road and have the drones snatch it as they go. There we go. So you can reach all the way out to there. You can reach all the way out to here. So we've reached the full capacity of a configuration like this. Like I said, we could swap these to deliver here and then deliver here, and then we could put 2 more plants down there. And I think we might have actually reached that equilibrium point where we want to change that. So let's put it there, and then put you here. Delete these 2 road spots. Throw down 2 more greenhouse gas emitters. And now we're starting to clear the backlog. Now we're going crazy. And this one's actually not even doing anything because this one's keeping up just fine. How's the fluorite field going? Okay, now we've hit the backlog of fluorite, so let's boost the trucks by two times the amount. Do the same thing with the trucks from the sulfur field as well. And then let's swap you for the double drone too. So otherwise the drones won't be able to keep up with the trucks. All right, we're at 6.32. I think we're gonna pause the episode there while this is churning through, and then we want to keep up with Nagoya and Guangzhou. We're hitting the city supply limits again as far as oxygen and reinforced concrete. How is the waste production going? Is this working as intended? Serve city waste disposal. Do I need to put you next to a supply center? I'm not 100% sure. But we will sort through this next time. So if you guys enjoyed the episode, click the like button. It helps me out a lot. If you guys want to see more episodes of Plan B, Terraform, or the other videos I have going on the channel, subscribe to the channel. That also helps me out a lot. But until next time, everybody, I hope you have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye, everybody!